Welcome to Run the Clock with Jermaine and Tanesha.
Hey, this is Run the Clock, where we talk about the latest in sports news. My name is Tanesha.
And I'm Jermaine.
And today we're going to talk about what changes should the NBA championship Lakers make to their roster, the rumors that have come out about Kawhi and him getting special treatment, the Kansas City Chiefs signing Leveon Bell, and if the Steve Nash hiring was white privilege. So let's get started.
Run the clock!
So our first question is, what changes should the NBA championship Lakers 2020, you know what I'm saying, make to their roster? We did it like town, number 17. We brought it back from the bubble. But anyway, so first of all, I'm going to say off top, listen, Jeannie Buss, Frank Vogel, if you're listening, please get rid of KCP and Danny Green. Definitely Danny Green. That's not even a discussion. And then I'm going to say after that, KCP got to go. And then I wouldn't even be mad if we got rid of Kuzma. I mean, think about it. Their whole job, we didn't ask them to do anything but play a tiny bit of defense and just shoot the three when you're open. They couldn't even do that. That's their whole job. We don't ask them to do that much. They couldn't do that. So they got to go. All of them got to go. I know they're on, I think Danny has one more year. But again, I'm just hoping we say, bro, take the money and just go. Just take it. It's cool. KCP, he can opt in, but I'm praying he'll opt out and get money elsewhere. And then Kuzma, he's supposed to be the third part of our big three. I mean, he was scoring like 8 and 9. He's a bonehead. But anyway, Laker free agents. We got Jared Dudley is a free agent. He's there for morale. I like the veteran leadership that he brings. Dwight, I'm cool with Dwight coming back. Markeith, we can get off of him and get somebody else. He played good, but Dion didn't even play. We can let him go. JR was just a replacement player, so we technically don't have him signed. Don't want to bring him back anyway. And then Kostas, not sure how you say that. Giannis's brother is on there. We need to keep him just so we can bring Giannis back.
Young Giannis. That's pretty funny. Definitely agree with you on the get rid of Danny. Like, that's a hashtag. Get rid of Danny. Like, he was so broke. Like, Danny Green, I don't think I've ever seen a professional player go a stretch that he went.
Terrible.
Like
I'm better than him.
I would say, like, if I had to bet money and we had to make like 3 threes, or let's say 10 3-pointers. And it
for your life.
And for your life. And it was me and Danny and you.
You only had to make one.
I could probably pull out maybe about 3. Like, I'll probably get about 3 of them. I think you could probably pull about 2 of them. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta pull 2.
Okay, we'll say 3. Danny, he gonna give you 1, and he might go a stretch. He might go 0 for 10. That is a reality. I'm like, man, yeah, y'all got to get rid of Danny. Now my boy Rondo. Now he, in my heart, Rondo's always gonna be a Celtic. So he was my dude. I wanted to see him do really well, and during the playoffs and during that stint, that run with y'all. I feel like Rondo was underrated, underappreciated, and undervalued by the Lakers franchise and by Laker fans as yourself. I think y'all
Rondo. We got love for Rondo.
Y'all undervalued him. Y'all had LeBron at the point guard. Rondo was like the backup point guard.
Rondo helped us though. We don't win it without Rondo for sure. We love Rondo.
Y'all don't win it without Rondo at all. Keep Dwight. Give Dwight more minutes. Y'all gotta give Dwight some more minutes. Y'all was just not playing him enough. You need to add a prolific shooter. I would say Bradley Beal. Add Bradley Beal if you can get it. Now, if y'all got a trade for Bradley Beal, maybe y'all give Washington Kuzma. Y'all can give him just KCP, Kuzma, JaVale maybe. I don't know, some picks. But y'all got to get Bradley Beal. Keep JR. Add Jamal Crawford for bench scoring. You're gonna need to add Jamal Crawford for some bench scoring, and hire Mark Jackson. Bingo. That might be an unpopular opinion, but hire Mark Jackson. Get rid of Vogel.
We want it. Okay, so the next topic we're going to talk about is Kawhi Leonard. So last week, there were some rumors about him getting, quote unquote, special treatment So some of the things they brought up included him living in San Diego, and of course the Clippers play in Los Angeles, so he would be late for the team flights a lot of the times. They had to wait on him. Also, you guys know about load management. He doesn't play a full season. He tells Doc when he wants to play. And even when he was in the game, he would dictate to Doc how many minutes he would play and when he would come in and out. And so this created, now that we've come to know, since they choked, of course, this was a big deal, and a lot of the players resented him for it. So we're going to give our opinions on these rumors about Kawhi and special treatment. So let's get started.
Run the clock!
Now, first off, I don't believe that Kawhi Leonard should get special treatment. I don't think he should get special treatment at all. I think that it causes contention in the locker room. I think that it makes other players feel like they're not as valued or they're not as appreciated as Kawhi. To be honest with you, I just think even on a professional level, as far as honoring your contract, you shouldn't be able to load manage as often as Kawhi Leonard is. He's taking about one game off for every 3 games he plays. Mm-hmm. You're almost taking a third of the season off. And it's like, if you're going to take a third of the season off, then what needs to be done is, if I'm the owner, I want to prorate your contract. I definitely want to take a third of those millions I'm paying you off. Especially if you're getting $200 million and you're taking a third of the season off. I mean, what other profession will allow you to take a third of your work time off and still get paid the full amount? And that can't be a lot.
He'll deliver you the ring, though, last year.
He ain't delivered no ring last year. Like, he absolutely choked.
What made Toronto?
Yeah, you know what? I think that was just the perfect storm for Toronto, because let's just be honest. Like, if Golden State is full strength, they're not winning. Mm-hmm. So it's still like all of that is going on. So, I mean, that's it. I mean, nah, I don't feel like it.
Okay. So, on your job, on my job, in life, we all know special treatment is a thing. If there's somebody on your job that is just a bomb at what they do, they're amazing, they're going to get special treatment. Definitely in the NBA. You don't think LeBron, Jordan, you don't think they get special treatment? Of course they do. But to me, the true character of a leader, it's like, you know what, I could have that first class seat on the plane. If I told coach I didn't want to come to practice, he wouldn't make a fuss about it. But because I'm a leader, I want to be one of the guys. You got to be one of the guys. So you got to be there early. You got to leave late. You got to ask people how they're doing. Check in with people. So I think the true thing of a leader is that you can have special treatment, and you might even, sometimes flex because you deserve it. You're the best player, but you don't do it all the time. And the problem with Kawhi is that he's not a talker. He's not a leader. Not. So you live in San Diego. Guys, San Diego is 2 hours from LA. I mean,
wow.
That just sounds difficult to try to be on time. Shit, some of us can barely be on time, and we, 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
So it's like little things like that, it's just not a good look for Kawhi. And so, in load management, I'm totally with you on that. Is he hurt still? I mean, I didn't hear anything about him being hurt.
I didn't think he was still hurt.
Yeah, so I'm like, why do you get to sit out? So I can understand that.
If that's a preventative measure that they're trying to actually do, it's like, that says a lot about who Kawhi Leonard is. It's like, is he like injury prone?
Or just reduce his minutes. Don't play as many minutes. You don't got to miss a whole game.
Yeah, you got to miss the whole game. You can play about 15, 20 minutes, man, if you ain't about to play at all. I mean, like, you got fans coming in paying their money to see Kawhi Leonard and not knowing when this guy is going to play. I'm like, if I'm a fan, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see how the team would look at him sideways. It's like, you got us waiting on you. You get to call all the shots. You don't talk to us. You probably don't even know my name.
Right. What to do, baby?
So Kawhi he's going to have to switch it up. And I think Ty Lue is going to hold him more accountable next year.
Right.
And you got to try. I know that's not his personality, but we all can change. We can turn it on. I'm an introvert, but I can turn it on when I need to. So I think that's what Kawhi's going to have to.
I just think something has to be done. He's going to have to switch it up, because what they doing now, it ain't working. All right, for our third topic, we have, will Leveon Bell help the Chiefs? Now, backstory is Leveon Bell, top 5 running back with the Steelers. didn't get the money that he really wanted from the Steelers, so he sat out a whole entire year. They said, all right, you can walk. Walks, go to the Jets. The Jets, that was a total disaster. So, ends up getting cut by the Jets. Guess who picks him up? My team, the Chiefs. So we're going to see whether or not he can help, or whether or not he's just going to be a leech.
Run the clock!
Alright, so I do think Leveon, so I'm a Steelers fan just for transparency, and so hated to see him go, but he was doing the most. But I do think he can help the Chiefs. So CEH, is it Clyde Edwards-Helaire? He's Helaire, my bad. H solid. So he was the rookie running back for the Chiefs, and Monday Night Football was his debut, and we were like, oh my God, he's the next Barry Sanders.
And he's my fantasy running back. So yeah, I was like, yes.
But since he's cooled off a little bit, and so you might think, man, the Chiefs don't need Le'Veon, but let me give you a couple stats to change your mind on this. All right, so
What's your stats?
CEH, Clyde, my boy Clyde, he has 9 carries with and goal to go. So it might have been first and goal, second goal, third and goal, whatever. He had 9 chances. Do you know how many touchdowns he got in those 9 chances? 0. Matter of fact, he had -1 yards. Matter of fact, give you some more.
There's some big boys on that goal line defense, though.
9 chances.
There's some big boys on that goal line
So
defense.
the Chiefs only have 1 rushing touchdown by a running back this season. That's bad. Also, it was 2 times that it was 4th and 1 to go. You know who they gave the ball to? Not to CEH. One time they gave it to a fullback, and then one time they gave it to your 3rd string running back. So CEH, not knocking him. I know he's a good player, but he's having a lot of trouble running the ball. So in short yardage. So Le'Veon can definitely help there. And Le'Veon's a great passer, so I think he'll be great for you guys.
Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know what I'm saying? He definitely has some gifts and some talents, and he's getting there, but he a rook. I mean, what did we expect, to give the football to a rook and he just gonna be Barry like right off the top? Oh, he gonna be the best running back Andy Reid's ever had, as people were saying. I'm like, man, like that's a lot of pressure to put on that young man. I'm like, okay. And he came in and like the first game, like you said, he balled out. So I was like, oh, this dude is about to be the truth. But then, like you said, started tailoring off, and like at the goal line, he just couldn't get in. I'm like, man, he just don't know how to get in the goal line yet, because like I said, it's different personnel on goal line defense, and ain't too many holes to be open and to be had. So I was like, he's gonna have to figure it out. I just think he's just a rook. He's small. His body isn't quite developed to his NFL grown man body yet. I mean, he's young. So
yeah.
I personally think that Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's got a lot of growth to do. Now, as far as my guy Le'Veon Bell, he's got a lot to prove. He's got a lot to prove. He didn't do good at all with the Jets. He didn't have one 20-yard run with the Jets. He didn't have one 100-yard game with the Jets. So I'm like, like you either just not trying, or you just mad at somebody and you trying to prove a point. I don't get it. But
does anybody do well with the Jets?
If you a baller, you gonna do well wherever you at. And I just personally think, the Jets, they didn't use them right. Should have used them more in the passing game. It's gonna be a psychological blow to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I feel like, because they're like, dang, you know what? Why you bringing in like a perennial Pro Bowler off up in here? You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I supposed to feel? But hopefully he can be strong enough to get through this time of Le'Veon splitting carries with him, because that could kind of linger if we let it. I do know Le'Veon's gonna add great value to the pass game. That's a fact. He's going to be able to catch the ball probably at a higher clip than Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and definitely will be better in short yardage as well. So we're just going to bank on that.
Okay, so for our final topic, we're going to talk about Steve Nash, and was this a quote-unquote white privilege hire? And so this all got started because, in Brooklyn, we got KD and we have Kyrie. They're going to be a really good team. They're probably a lock to go to the Eastern Conference finals, and they hired Steve Nash, who has 0 coaching experience, not as an assistant or anything like that. And so Stephen A. Smith said that this was a classic example of white privilege. So we're going to discuss it. So let's get started.
Run the clock!
Now with this particular hire, Steve Nash, he has a relationship with KD, so I'm not gonna call it a white privilege hire. I don't want to be so loose with just calling everything white privilege or racist or insensitive. I do think that some of the red tape was skipped because of him being a white man. That's just how our country works, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to chalk that up to white privilege necessarily, even though there might be a little bit of backdoor, don't have to go through all the loops and hoops going on. He has a high basketball IQ. He's known around the league of being a great basketball mind. Like I said, KD is the man. So KD was probably like, when they came to KD, they were like, hey man, just think about Steve Nash. Or he may have suggested Steve Nash. I'm sure KD was like, yeah, I like Steve Nash. We worked well together. We worked well together at Golden State. He's really smart. He's got a great offensive mind. I think it'll work really well for my skill set. So yeah, hire him. And I'm sure he was like, hey Kyrie, what you think? And same thing. So I'm not going to call it white privilege. I'm just going to say that some hoops and loops weren't, they didn't have to jump through some of the hoops that they normally would if he was a black African-American coach, potentially.
Which to me is part of the definition of privilege in a way. So let's check this out. 81% of the NBA are black players, okay? So out of that, out of 30 teams, we only have 6 coaches out of 30, 4 president of operations, 6 GMs, and only 1 owner out of 30 teams. So it is a problem. Diversity in all sports leagues, but in the NBA in particular, it is a problem. And so I understand where Stephen A. Smith was coming from. If 81% of the league is black, and you're talking about in the NBA, the players hold the power. So you don't think if Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they said we want a black coach, you don't think they would have got a black coach?
Absolutely.
You don't think LeBron could say I want a black coach? So I kind of hold it to the players as well. It's like you guys got to help out as well. If it's an issue like you guys say,
which it is an issue,
as much as you protest about and you want opportunities, you guys got to do your part. I mean, we talk about special treatment. Throw your weight around. Say, I want a black coach, or at least I want to interview black coaches. So I think that's what Stephen A. was saying. KD and Kyrie, like, what happened? You gotta get out there too. So what happens with black coaches? Usually, how they get their opportunities, because there have been black coaches that haven't had coaches experience, but they always get a rebuild team. That's the thing. Rarely does a black coach get a ready-made team like Steve Nash did.
Right.
Like I could coach them and they go into the finals. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So why did that get handed on the platter to Steve Nash?
Coach Watts is bringing them to the finals. That's for sure.
Right. So it's
I'm getting them boys to the finals.
When black coaches get jobs, it's normally like, all right, we got Zion and all of them. It's gonna take you 8 years. You're gonna get fired.
Zion and Lonzo. And by the time you get them right, they go get fired. They get fired.
Mark Jackson. They'll give you some good players, but by the time you're like, all right, I think I'm ready to get them on. They're like, all right.
Yeah, we about to hire JJ Redick.
Not all the time, but
it be like that.
Overwhelmingly, that's how it goes. So I see what people took him out of context, but I see what Stephen A. was saying right there.
I just think that we've gotten so used to it that we don't even see it as privilege anymore. It's like, well, they just get to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not right all the time. Sometimes it's not just about being a white guy. Sometimes it's about relationships, like I said. So, just kind of have to have a grain of salt with that.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and especially subscribe, and hit the little bell beside the subscribe button. That way you'll know every time we send out a video. So thank you.
Holla at us!
Run the clock. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.